I'm Catherine Evans from Wiki-ed. Please subscribe if you want to see more videos on assistive technology, and if you want to find me on social media, search for Wiki-ed Essex. In this final video on how to use MindView 8, we're going to go back to the home menu, which we said we would do last, and what we need to do is add in the things that aren't there. I'm not going to bother putting on cut, copy, paste and delete. They're fairly obvious. We've already flagged all the common options. Let me make it a bit bigger so we can see it. Fit all there. We've already flagged all the common options. The other things that are on here that aren't on any of the other menus are the numbering scheme and the export options. I've just realised that when we flagged the common options, we didn't include type, which is on the review menu. Just pop that icon on there. Your recent icons are always at the top, so it's dead quick. So the numbering scheme allows you to add a numbering scheme to your mind map. It's quite odd if you look at the options you have left at the side, the smallest branches, that it kind of masks the data, so I prefer to go with no numbering scheme. And then you have the export options. With each of the export options, you will find that you have the option to do a quick export or a custom export, and they have different functions, but I would always recommend you do the custom export so that you can choose which items you want to export. Probably spelled PowerPoint wrong. And PDF. There we go. So the word export, if I save my map and then click on Word, and I'm going to go for custom word export, you get to choose how you would like your index to look. I'm going to go for one of these super duper smart ones. You can then go into general and choose whether or not to include things like a map image and a title page. So I don't want a title page. In the table of contents, display up to branch level 2. It gets really silly if you go out to number 3. I want a word bibliography. I want my text notes in with clear formatting. I don't want my branch connections. I do want my date. I don't want dates, etc. that are not in there. I don't need the icons either. I'm going to put everything else in now. Yeah, I'll show you how comments work. And you can choose about whether or not to attach your objects properly into Word, so whether or not things go in as hyperlinks or inserted in the document. And it's generally set for pictures in the document and everything else is a hyperlink. So I'm going to click Export. It will ask me to give my Word document a name, so I'm going to call it MindView 8. And once it's finished, if you click Open Document, you'll get asked 2 questions as it opens up Word. Firstly, you'll be asked if you want to update the fields that refer to other files. Yes. And secondly, you'll be asked if you want to update the page numbers or the entire table. Just go with page numbers. You can always update a table of contents later on. If I maximize Word, so you'll see the first thing I've got now is the mind map, and then I have my index, which is only a couple of levels deep because that's how I asked for it to become. Sorry, I'm not very good with this mouse. And as I come down, for every single item on my map, I have a title ready to type underneath it, and the ones that are in the index are the ones that are between the lines. So branch and sub-branch isn't in there, but branches are. So I would then use that as my subheading and then write about all of these things. You'll see that the text note goes in as text. The comment goes in as a comment. I probably wouldn't actually include that if I'd planned an essay with it. And then I've got all my pictures and branch pictures, and then I've got all my attachments, so it's hyperlinks, my citations that I put in, and also I've got the citations that go with the captures. At the very end of my document, you'll find that I have a bibliography that contains all of the citations and captures that I used in the document. and that's Word export. So if I close down the Word export, we get similar options with the PowerPoint export, with the custom PowerPoint export. These aren't PowerPoint templates, they're some that have been put in by MindView. I always prefer a blank one. And again, I can choose what to include. This time I'd like the map image, but I wouldn't like the comments or the branch connections or any empty sub-branches. And again, I can choose my attached objects. If I export it, again, it'll ask me to save it, this time as a PowerPoint file, and it will open up in PowerPoint. This time there's no questions on the way in. And you get a slide for everything you've asked for, and you can fill them in as needed. The HTML export, again, if you choose custom, you can choose whether you want one of these templates and when you want the tree list at the sidebar or the top and sidebar. They're not the nicest. I'm going to go for buttons and see if that actually helps, but they're not generally the most attractive websites. Yeah, it's going to look like that with links across the top and down the side, which I find really ugly. I'm not even going to go through and export that. Yes, I really want to quit the export wizard. And a PDF export, if you don't go to custom, it's going to look just like your Word document. And you can include, again, choose exactly what to include. And these end up looking just like the Word document did, so they're not the most useful thing. So those are your export options, and that is everything that is included in MindView 8. I'm Catherine Evans from Wiki-ed. Please subscribe if you want to see more videos on assistive technology, and if you want to find me on social media, search for Wiki-ed Essex.